There are few more terrifying sights than a tornado bearing down on you. It's as though the world is about to end. And for the people of Joplin, Missouri, it pretty much did. Their town was wiped out with terrible loss of life. As America struggles through its deadliest twister season ever, Nine Network US correspondent Denham Hitchcock joined the men and women who call themselves storm chasers. But it wasn't long before the storms were chasing him.
It's awe-inspiring, yet terrifying.
Can you see behind us?
Directly above us, nature is gathering one of its most destructive forces.
And you can see that the whole clouds, everything above me is rotating. Right in the middle over there is the beginning of a tornado. Come on, come on.
We gotta go.
Why are we leaving?
It's dropping our head. Let's just go around there. Let's move.
It's starting to turn, it's twisting, and we're waiting for it to drop down, and obviously if it does drop down while we're here, we could get caught in it.
Do you and get out of here?
This is life in Tornado Alley, USA's wild Midwest.
Oh my goodness, this is a very violent tornado. Oh my goodness.
Where every spring,
It's a stovepipe, look at that.
millions of Americans brace as two weather systems collide.
Directly behind us.
Well, red and blue next to each other means bad. It means that there's a strong circulation. The red is air moving one direction and the blue is air moving the other direction. And that's what you have in a tornado, is air moving different directions very, very close to each other.
What that can mean is winds of up to 500 kilometres an hour
Tornado well and truly formed on the ground.
channeled into that distinctive funnel with the power to level concrete and steel.
It looks like the surface circulation is increasing and the hook is really coiling up. So
What makes them so deadly is no one can predict exactly where a tornado will strike.
Alright, so I think we're going to turn south on 177 and try to get ahead of these storms that are...
Not even veteran meteorologists like Josh Worman.
What we're hoping to do is learn about this phenomena so that in the future, when these big tornado outbreaks happen, more people will get to safety and those death tolls will be lower.
Take it up, I can't throw! I got it.
This season, more than 1,200 twisters have torn across the US.
Oh, it's getting big. That's huge. I got it all on video.
The worst of them struck Joplin, Missouri,
The tornado's trying to come down right here.
killing 134 people
I got debris on the ground over here.
and levelling a third of the town.
I have a large destructive tornado, and it's on the southwest side of Joplin.
The moment of impact when the monster storm hit was dramatically captured by storm chasers,
And it's a massive tornado, doing massive destruction.
who soon found themselves in danger.
I am!
When America woke, this is what it was faced with. The almost incomprehensible damage from the worst tornado to hit the US since records began. Now, it tore a hole through the heart of this city that is 1 kilometre wide and 10 kilometres long. It's damage on a massive scale, and the people of Joplin, they are still counting the dead and searching for the missing.
It took more than a century to build Joplin and only minutes to bring it down.
A lot of the people here, they've been left with nothing, basically.
Nothing. I mean, some of them are very lucky if they even have a structure, you know, where their house once was.
Melody Colbert Keane is the deputy mayor of Joplin.
The trees were lighting the streets, and it was just, you know, fires everywhere and people crying and bleeding, and it was just overwhelming, very overwhelming.
I can see that still sticks with you, those images.
And unfortunately, I think they will for a long time.
It was definitely almost like a feeling of dread.
It was 5:30 on a Sunday afternoon when the monster storm approached. Isaac Duncan and his mate Brendan Stebbins pulled off the highway into a service station for shelter.
So you came in from over here. This is where you park your car, and you're telling me that was a service station?
Yep.
Right there.
And my car, when it was all said and done, was sitting right over there in the middle of the store.
Inside, day turned to night
At least probably 10 or 12.
as the boys joined 18 others sheltering in the cool room. Isaac started the video on his mobile phone.
Everybody get down, low on the ground.
Everyone in there knew that something big was about to happen. It just hadn't happened yet.
Minutes later, all hell broke loose. "20 strangers clinging to each other in the dark, expecting every moment to be their last."
People started screaming religious things like Jesus, you know, God, you know, praying really loudly. And when I heard that, that almost made me panic. Them yelling for, you know, what sounded like their life.
I love everyone, man. Yeah, I love all you guys. We're gonna be okay. I love you.
I wanted to let everyone that I was with that I knew, you know, if we were going to go out like that, I wanted to go out like with them knowing that, so. I submitted to the fact that this was probably going to be how I died.
Are you okay? I'm very...
Incredibly, the entire group survived,
The building may not be safe to move much.
emerging through a tiny gap into an apocalyptic landscape, unrecognisable as their hometown.
All right, here's the gas station.
Neighbourhoods, streets, landmarks, now replaced with a front row seat to how the end might look.
So you walk out and you see a scene like this.
You know, a lot of people tell me, well, you should feel so lucky that you lived through that. And I don't know if it's that we're lucky or that we just had incredibly bad luck for being here in the first place.
As lethal as they are, tornadoes have an almost hypnotic attraction. Storm chasers like Sean Casey spend their entire lives pursuing that elusive moment when the sky touches the ground.
It's directly behind us. It's coming up on the road.
Sean, this isn't something that you go and pick the kids up in, is it?
No, I would never put my kids in this vehicle.
But Sean's obsession outranks all others. He's converted a small truck into a mobile tank
Okay, let's follow this.
and drives directly into the eye of the tornado.
Tornado coming, deploy!
It's a 7-ton monster that literally hugs the road.
We first lower the air. We get low, we put on the hydraulics, and then we start lowering these panels. The panels are so that air doesn't get underneath the vehicle to create lift.
It happens pretty quickly by the look of it too.
But even with all that armour plating, Sean knows better than to think he's tornado-proof.
There are tornadoes out there. You have 5 tornadoes that would pick up our little tank and toss it out in the field. And we'd go rolling right along, and inside that vehicle would become like a, with all our equipment, like a metal blender.
And that's exactly what we were suddenly facing on a back road in Missouri. Storm spotters warning of the danger swirling directly above.
Get out of there! South! South! South!
Can you see behind? See how far it is back?
Yeah, get up another 500 metres quick. It's going to hit the ground in a big way. They're in a fucking park.
We've come down the road about 500 metres, basically because it was about to drop on top of us. What you can see up there in that boiling cloud is the beginning of a tornado. That wind and the rain, that all comes with it. And now what we're waiting to see is if it touches the ground.
We've been told we got to go. Let's go further.
But when the storm chasers start running, you know it's time to get out.
Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Go.
All right, so a bunch of storm chasers that we're with have just told us to get the hell out. So we're driving out.
Even after such a close call, the thrill of the chase is undeniable. No wonder tornado tourism is booming.
We've got a developing wall cloud over here, and the tornado could actually form at any point in the wall cloud.
We joined Storm Tours, just one of dozens of buses packed with people from around the world.
So that's basically a downdraft area where we're going to
Along for the ride, Australians Barry Lose and Craig Thomas.
This was like a bucket list thing for me, if you like, you know, and I just thought, let's go and try it out.
The atmosphere in the van was just pumped, like, you know, this is awesome. We're actually in a tornado chase. Like, who would have thought this? And I think everyone forgot about the actual taking pictures of it because the fact that we was in it, we were there.
It's a far different story in Joplin, where trees stripped of bark are the only landmarks left.
We would ask you to take as much as you can, give it to your neighbours, your friends who are in need.
With thousands now homeless, necessities like bread, toiletries and water arrive in the back of a truck.
I have 4 boys. What are their ages?
Deep in America's Bible Belt, this is a town tattered, but certainly not defeated.
If you lived through this tornado, some people would be questioning their faith, wouldn't they?
You probably do question it a little bit at this time, but if you have faith, that's what faith is. It's holding on even when you don't know.
That faith could yet be tested further. This year, double the number of tornadoes have scarred the landscape, and the season isn't over yet.
Is it becoming increasingly dangerous to live in Tornado Alley?
The risk for anybody living in Tornado Alley is pretty similar to what it was 50 or even 100 years ago. The difference is that more people are living in Tornado Alley.
I got debris on the ground over here. I got debris on the ground right here. I got debris on the ground. Tornadoes coming in the city.
The amount of destruction, these towns being leveled, it's really a game changer for me. It really just takes that excitement that I've felt in the past, and now it's replaced it with dread. Because every time we chase this year, you feel like something god-awful is going to happen.